In our last session, we started goodwill. When will is good, can create goodwill. We learn introductory portion, meaning of goodwill, that is the value of reputation of firm, and that is monetary value, how it is created from the earning ability, earning capacity of profit over and above the normal profit. After that, an important point for exam, where it is to be recorded. 3 subtitles. First, format, it is in balance sheet. Second, side, it's on asset side. And third, title, main title, main head, that is non-current asset. Subhead, that is intangible asset. Mainly in our syllabus there are 4 intangible assets. Yes, 4. Which 4? Goodwill, patent, trademark, copyright. No need for chronological order, but these 4 you have to remember: goodwill, patent, trademark and copyright. So where it is to be recorded. Then the factors affecting valuation of goodwill. Which factors were there to affect valuation of goodwill? Like location of business and nature of business and so on. Now in this session, very quickly we will go through the necessities, why goodwill is to be calculated, and then the methods. We'll just have little bit knowledge, theoretical knowledge of methods. Then we'll discuss the methods individually along with its practical questions. Okay? So let's continue with necessity for valuation of goodwill. Why goodwill is to be calculated. Change in P&L ratio. Whenever in partnership firm, the profit or loss sharing ratio changes, obviously the calculation of goodwill is needed. Again, you may say why? Because the goodwill is basically an asset, and on all the assets, partners are having fully right. The right on assets obviously is of partners. Okay? So, goodwill is also an asset. Again a question. You may ask, you may feel, only calculation of goodwill is needed at the time of change in P&L ratio, or other things also? Yes, of other assets and liabilities also to be calculated. But that we will talk, that we will discuss later on in the next chapter. That is reconstruction of partnership. But that is a different topic. We will discuss later on. At present, about specifically goodwill only. Okay? So whenever change in P&L ratio among the existing partner, necessity for calculation of goodwill arises. Admission of a partner. See, there are people saying admission of a new partner. Now, I don't consider it proper. Why? Do you think the word admission of an old partner is there? No. Naturally, whenever a partner comes, he or she must be a new one for the partnership business, for the firm. So, if you use it, it's okay, but no need to use that word new. Clear? Admission of a partner. Now again, see, every time we used to discuss for a while, for a minute or two, that what is the actual necessity. Because in tax book, They give you just the titles only. So on that basis, normally it is not very easy for a student of 12th to understand the concept. And that's where our duties are there for you to explain. And what is your duty? That is to understand properly. And in that case only, if our partnership did a good business, means we explain properly and you understand properly, then and then we can have add-on value in our partnership. And that add-on value, that topping, again is known as goodwill. Yes, then only we can create goodwill of our institute by having great results. Okay, so try to understand the concept properly. Admission of partner. Whenever a partner admitted, the terms and conditions decided between the incoming partner and the existing partner. One of the term is valuation of goodwill, because the amount whatever he will bring at the time of admission depends on the goodwill also. You can have the detailed discussion, detailed concepts in chapter number 5, that is specifically admission of partner. But let me give you a small example. Try to understand it properly. A and B are the partners doing business since last 5 years, doing very nicely, earning good profit. Now they want to expand the business, so they want to take C as a partner. They want to admit C as a partner. Now A and B doing business since 5 years, so in market the reputation, the valuation is there. Indirectly we can say they are having a particular goodwill as an established firm, as a reputed firm. So the value of that goodwill is to be decided at the time of admission. Because, again, why? Just imagine again, listen carefully. A and B are partners, doing business, 5 years, very good business. C admitted today only. Now, if after 6 months, due to any reason, they have to close their business. If after 6 months of admission of C, they have to close their business, then C just passed 6 months in the business and still he can have a very big portion. Say the ratio is 1:1:1, then 1/3 portion of the goodwill of business. Yes, actually he passed only 6 months and the remaining two, A and B, 5 years and 6 months. Still they all are going to have equal portion. Followed? That's why if they decided at the time of admission of C that the value of our firm, value of goodwill of our firm is, let's say, 3 lakh rupees. Let's say it is 3 lakh rupees. Now in that case, if C admitted as a partner with 1/3 share, then normally C has to bring rupees 1 lakh as goodwill. 3 lakh into 1/3. And if we bring 1 lakh as goodwill, now he can have all the rights to get 1/3 portion, because the value is 3 lakh and he already contributed 1 lakh. Till now, whatever the value created, he gave his or her contribution. So now onwards, from today or tomorrow onwards, he can have his or her right in the business. Is it clear? We discuss in admission of partner also, but it's a good topic. Like admission of partner, naturally at the time of retirement of a partner also, or even at the time of death of a partner also, it is necessary to calculate goodwill of the firm. Why? Because if a partner wants to retire, or let's assume if a partner died, both the cases are different. First, let's take retirement. If A, B, C, three partners are there, C wants to retire. Naturally, from the business, we have to give C's share to C at the time of retirement. Now, what is the share of C? For that calculation, one of the topic is share of goodwill. Other topics are there like capital, like interest on capital, like share of profit. But in the similar way, share of goodwill is also there. And for that, we must decide the valuation of goodwill. Is it clear? If we decide value of goodwill, we can give C's share to C at the time of retirement. Almost a similar topic in death of a partner. But the only difference, here C retired, so we are giving share of C to C only. Here if C died, death of him, in that case we give C's share to his or her, yes, that is higher, in a varasdar. Okay, is that clear? So again the same topic, but here we are giving to partner himself or herself. Here we are not giving to partner but to the third party. Is it okay? Conversion of partnership into company. You know that. Step by step, if the size of business increases, so as the responsibility, liability, financial burden increases day by day. In that case, normally up to certain extent, even the accountants and others also advise to continue with partnership firm. But a very important characteristic of partnership, yes, we learned in chapter 1, that is unlimited liability. So when the size of business increases like anything, it becomes huge. At that time, it's always advisable to convert partnership business into company format, because you all knows very well that company is always having limited liability, because company is an artificial person created by law. Okay, so to reduce the burden on personal assets, because when unlimited liability word we used, it shows that if partnership firm cannot pay business debt, then partner has to sell their personal assets and pay the debt of business. But if they convert their business into company, so the size becomes bigger one. At that time, if due to any reason, if they make huge loss and the company cannot pay the debt, in that case, normally it is not the responsibility of individual one, like shareholders, to sell their assets and pay company's debt. It is the responsibility of company only. So if company cannot pay the debt, company declared insolvent. It will not affect the personal asset of shareholders. See, when partnership firm is there, we have to use the word partner. But when we are converting it into company form, we have to use the word shareholder. The entire second part of your accountancy is purely connected with corporate matters. Very, very interesting. Yeah, you'll enjoy. You'll enjoy like anything. But before that, you have to cover the entire partnership. The last one, that is amalgamation of partnership. Now, what is amalgamation of partnership firm? Amalgamation means what? Amalgamation is about simple matter. It is nothing else but when A and B, two partnership firms. See, I'm not talking about two partners, but two partnership firm, A and B. When two partnership firm joins together, A and B joins together and make a big firm. At that time, it is known as amalgamation of partnership firm. You can say બંને firm joint થઈ જાય છે and then they create a new firm. There are three topics: amalgamation, then absorption, and then reconstruction. Three topics. In amalgamation, A and B, two firms joined together, started C, let's say. In absorption, to absorb, A absorb B. Okay, that is absorption. Normally a big company absorb the small company, or big firm absorb the small firm. That is absorption. And the third one, reconstruction. Now reconstruction word is connected with the company or the firm or the business itself. The business itself closed down and started in a new way, in a new motive. That is reconstruction. Okay? Later on in college, in advanced level, you have to study all these three topics in accounts. But at present, amalgamation of partnership firm. Any issues? A and B joined. That create. See, I can just give you like this. Can say from A, from B, then jointly together started from C. Okay? This is amalgamation. Is it clear? What is amalgamation? If you don't understand, don't worry. Don't worry. Here you have to remember this, just the word for valuation of goodwill. So at the time of amalgamation of partnership firms, again the valuation of goodwill is needed. Okay? Now, these are the necessities, why it is to be. Next topic is methods for valuation of goodwill. Which are the methods? Very, very simple. Actually, there are another methods also, but at present we are going to discuss the methods which are the part of our syllabus. There are four methods actually, so I give just four guidelines. Average profit method. See, we can say in different way also that there are only three methods. One is average profit, another is super profit, another is this. Because in the title of average profit we can cover this too, but we are doing it in this particular way because this kind of things are given in the textbook. So we make it simple as it is, because there is nothing wrong in it. See, if something wrong in the textbook, obviously we are going to rectify, but there is nothing wrong. Average profit method. Average profit is also known as simple average profit method. Both are same. If they use calculate goodwill by simple average profit, the same. If they say calculate goodwill by average profit method, again the same. Clear? Next, weightage average profit method. These two are really very, very simple. If you remember my last session, I told you that two methods are there. If they ask one of them in 4 marks, question 2, 7, 27, and if you are having proper grip on calculation, either orally by your own or by using calculator properly, okay, if you are having proper grip, in that case this particular question you can solve within 3 or maximum 4 minutes. Yes, 3 or maximum 4 minutes. I will show you. Even on board also, with proper calculation, format, everything, and if we can do it on board, for you it becomes very easy to do it in your paper or notebook. By drawing proper format, by doing proper calculation, with proper presentation, box in the answer, everything, still only 3 to 4 minutes. And you are having for 4 marks, to be very precise, you are having 6 minutes and 24 seconds. Don't go with that second business, because second to second, but you can have approximately 6 to 7 minutes. And when you are having 7 minutes and solve this question in 4 minutes, you can save very, very, very important 3 minutes and going to get full 4 marks. So there's two. One is average profit method, very, very simple. Another is weightage average profit method, again a very simple method. Third one, super profit method. Now these two methods, again very simple, but cannot say you can solve within 3 minutes and 4 minutes. For these two, you have to use the entire time limit given to you. Means it may take 6 minutes also, 7 minutes also. And in these two, why it is simple? Because you have to remember the steps only. There are 5 to 6 steps. If you remember it in order, If you remember it, and 1 or 2 formulas, matrix, 4 marks, yes. So these are the methods. Weightage average, somewhat this kind of things you already did in statistics. Super profit method, the word super before the word profit. That shows that earning ability to earn extra profit than the average. Normally, બાકીની બધી જ firm છે profit earn કરતી હોય. If you earn extra profit than this, then it is known as, that extra profit is known as super profit. Let's say if the industry's firm doing similar business, આપણે જે બિઝનેસ કરીએ છીએ એ જ ટાઈપનો બિઝનેસ કરતી ઇન્ડસ્ટ્રીની બાકીની બધી ફર્મ, if they are earning average profit of, let's say, 4 lakh, if they are earning average profit 4 lakh and our firm is earning profit 5 lakh, the industry's average is 4 lakh, our firm is earning 5 lakh. In that case, 5 lakh minus 4 lakh, our firm and industry's average, the difference is known as super profit. So we can say that our firm is earning 1 lakh rupees profit as super profit. Very, very easy concept. Even for theory also, the concept is important. At the time of clearing this method, we'll discuss about it. Even we are going to write the meaning also properly. Fourth, capitalization of profit method. Again a very good one. Again, at the time of theory, we'll discuss in detail. But at present, just the highlights. See, if I use the word capitalization of profit method, average profit, so that is given in textbook also. Instead of writing this and just telling you, better option is to tell you that go through the textbook. Am I right? But no. If you go through the textbook, then what is the need of a specialized person? All students are having textbooks. So from textbook only, if you can learn everything in the best possible way, there is no need of a tutor, of a teacher, of a guide, of a guru in the entire world. But no. Guru, guide is going to give you toppings. Normally, which is not given in the textbook, hidden words we can say, easy tricks. So they enhance the value than the other students. And that enhanced value, super profit, can be known as goodwill also. Okay? What is this? Capitalization of profit. Let's have a little bit concept at present, and then in further sessions we'll have detailed discussion. Capitalization of profit method. What I want to say? Listen carefully. To earn this much profit, let's say 1 lakh. To earn 1 lakh profit, how much capital is needed? To earn 1 lakh profit, how much capital is needed? And to earn 1 lakh profit, how much capital we are going to employ? Means, if the industry is to earn 1 lakh profit, if the firms of industry needs 10 lakh capital, if by investing 10 lakh capital, if the firms are earning 1 lakh profit, so indirectly we can say 10% return. Sanjay, 10 lakh rupees capital is needed to earn 1 lakh profit. So by investing 10 lakh, if we get 1 lakh, it will give 10% return. Is it okay? Sure? Now listen carefully. We are also earning 1 lakh. Others are also earning 1 lakh. We are also earning 1 lakh. But we are investing 8 lakh only. We are investing 8 lakh only and earning 1 lakh. Samjhay? Others are investing 10 lakh and earning 1 lakh. We are investing 8 lakh and earning 1 lakh. So indirectly we can say that our firm is in benefit of 2 lakh. They invest 2 lakh less and getting the same profit. So that 2 lakh is considered as goodwill. That 2 lakh is considered as goodwill of our firm. By investing less capital, earning same profit. That is capitalization of profit. To earn this profit, how much capital is needed? That method is known as capitalization of profit method. Okay? In this method, we have 2 sub-methods. One is average profit. Average may take any of these 2. So you can say capitalization of average profit method or capitalization of super profit method. Okay? So 2 methods they can ask. In textbook they give these 4 titles only. But even they also give you the illustrations, and in exercise also they give you these 2 methods differently. So actually you can say 5 methods. Simple average or average method, weightage average method, super profit method, capitalization of average profit method, capitalization of super profit method. Okay, these two really very easy. These two are also very easy, but it's bit lengthy in comparison of these two. આ બેની કમ્પેરિઝનમાં lengthy છે. Does not mean it will take so much of time. If they ask this, normally you cannot save time. You are not going to spoil your time. Huh? You can easily solve within the time limit. But over here you can save time. Okay? Next year, which method they are going to ask, nobody knows. But for one thing I am sure, whichever the method they may ask, for one thing I am sure, yes, I am sure for you people, that whichever the method they ask, you are going to get 4 out of 4 from this. Okay? So in next session, we'll start with this. Very simple. It needs hardly 2-3 minutes, 5 minutes to understand what is average profit, to write the formula, and then we'll continue with the practical questions of average profit method. We will solve practical questions method wise. We will not do like that. Then we'll do theory of all 4 and then we'll do practicals. We'll do average profit, practical of it. Weighted average, again sums of it. So then and then you can say that you can clear the concept with the methods theory and even the formulas. Okay? So till then, first of all, the necessities for valuation of goodwill, go through it, try to remember the concept, then methods of valuation of goodwill. You are already having the theory material with you, textbook also you are having. So go through it and be ready for next session of practical questions one by one, and to have full 4 marks of practical and 1 + 1 2 marks of theory. Okay?